have a good day. In this video, you will learn about the interactive teaching method. Are you now ready? Well, that's great. And now let's talk about interactive teaching method. What is interactive teaching method? It is all about instructing the students in a way they are actively involved with their learning process. There are different ways to create an involvement like this. Most of the time it's through teacher-to-student interaction, student-to-student interaction, the use of video, visuals, and video, hands-on demonstrations, and exercises. You encourage your students to be active members of your class, thinking on their own, using their brains, resulting in long-term memory retention. Not only the students' knowledge will improve, but their interest, strength, knowledge, team spirit, and freedom of expression will increase as well. Then, first, I want to put some activities in the spotlight. The following interactive student activities are three of the most effective ways to encourage more speech in your classroom. We have the think, pair, and share. The second one, we have the brainstorming. Then the last one, we have the buzz session. But let's talk first about the think, pair, and share. What is it? Set a problem or a question around a certain topic and pair up your students. Give each pair of students enough time so they can reach a proper conclusion and permit the students to share their conclusion in their voice. This way your students will be engaged communicating and remember more of the class than ever before. Then let's talk about brainstorming. What is all about? Well, it is interactive brainstorming is mostly performed in group sessions. This process is useful for generating creative thoughts and ideas. Brainstorming helps students to learn, work together, and above all, learn from each other. Then let's talk about the buzz session. What is all about? Well, participants come together in session groups that focus on a single topic. Within each group, every student contributes thoughts and ideas. Encourage discussion and collaboration among the students within each group. Everyone should learn from each other's input and experiences. As a teacher, you could give your students some keywords to spark the conversation. Of course, there are many categories interactive teaching ideas as well. I split up the activities in different categories. Individual student activities, student pair activities, student group activities, and the last one we have the interactive game activities. But let's first discuss about the individual student activities. So, we have for the individual student activities, we have the exit slips, the misconception check, the circle of the questions, then this ask the winner. Let's talk first about the exit slips. So what is all about? These are best used at the end of the class session. You'll ask the students to write for 1 minute on a specific question. It might be the generalized to what was the most important thing you learned today. Then you can decide if you're going to open up a conversation about it in your next class. Then, let's talk about the misconception check. What is all about? Well, it discovers students' misconceptions. See if students can identify what is the correct answer when given a false fact. It is useful when going over a previous lesson. It encourages students to think deeply and wager all the possibilities. Then, how about the circle, the questions? Well, make our worksheet or survey that has a list of questions. Make them specific about your topic and ask students to circle or check the ones they don't know the answers to. Then, the last one, we have the ask the winner. In this activity, you ask students to silently solve a problem on the board. After revealing the answer, instruct those who got it right to raise their hands and keep them raised. Then, all other students have to talk to someone with raised hand to better understand the question and how to solve it next time. And for the student pair activities, pair pair, share, repeat. Then we have the teacher and student. We have also the wisdom from another. We also have the forced debate, optimist or pessimist. Then pair review, writing task. Then let's have first day, pair, share, repeat. After a think, pair, share experience, which I've written about in the first interactive learning lesson idea, you can also ask the students to find a new partner and share their wisdom of the old partnership to this new partner. Then let's talk about the teacher and student. Let students brainstorm the main points of the lesson. Then pair up your students and assign them two roles. One of them is the teacher and the other one is the student. The teacher's job is to sketch the main points, while the student's job is to cross off points on his list as they are mentioned up to the 3 points that our teacher missed. Then let's talk about the wisdom from another. After individual brainstorm or creative activity, pair students to share the results. Then call for volunteers for founder partners who work to be interesting or exemplary. Students are often more willing to share the work of fellow students publicly than their work. Of course, you can always encourage sharing their objectives as well. Then force debate, the optimist, pessimist, and peer review writing tasks. That's a great thing for the interactive teaching method. Then let's talk about the student group activities. Let's have first the board rotation. Then we have also the pick the winner. Then we can also have the movie application. So again, these are the example of student group activities. So let's first talk about the board rotation. This interactive learning strategy is even more interactive than others. Divide your class into different groups of students and assign them to each of the boards you have set up in the room. Assign one topic question per board. And that's it. Now let's talk about the pick the winner. So what is all about? Divide the class into groups and let them work on the same topic, or shall I say problem. Let them record in answers or strategy in paper or digitally. Then ask the groups to switch with a nearby group and let them evaluate their answers. Then the last one, we have the movie application. In group, students discuss examples of movies that made use of a concept or event discussed in class, trying to identify at least one way that movie makers got it right and one way they got it wrong. Think about movies showing historical facts, geographical facts, biographies of famous people. Then the last category is that interactive game activities. So what are the examples of interactive games activities? Well, create an interactive classroom full of interactive learning games. Games are so much fun for students since it doesn't feel like learning. Let's talk first about the crossword puzzle, then the Scrabble, then who or what am I? Then the last one, we have the bingo. That's are the examples of a crossword puzzle. That's the example of interactive game activities. So for the crossword puzzle, it is a perfect to use a repetition activity. Choose at last words and their descriptions, and the crossword game transforms these boring lessons into a fun experience. Here, then the next one, we have the Scrabble. Use the chapter of course or title in the pool of letters from which to make words, and allow teams to brainstorm as many words relevant to the topic as possible. You can also actually play Scrabble and ask students to form words from newly learned vocabulary. Then the second one, we have the who or what am I? Tape a term or name of the back of each student. You can also tape it on their forehead. Each student walks around room asking yes or no questions to the other students in an effort to guess the term. Of course, the term has something to do with your lesson topic. Then the last examples of the games interactive teaching is that the bingo. Bingo is a fun game that can be used for all sorts of exercises. Languages exercises, introductory games, or math exercises, or etc. That's all, and thank you everyone, and God bless. Hope that you learned a lot from our discussions this morning. God bless. Bye-bye.